catch your foot if you want to.
I'm Beth Hames, former Knoxville news anchor and proud mom of 2. I'm hitting the road in some fantastic RVs to uncover hidden gems and amazing local talent. Come along for a road trip beyond the guidebooks, full of friendly faces and unexpected finds. This is Hidden Trails. We're back in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where the big attractions get all the attention, but it's the hidden gems we're here to find. Let's see what else is waiting to be uncovered. First, we're off to check into our campground, the Pigeon Forge KOA. Open year-round and loaded with the comforts KOA is known for, it sits right off the parkway and is within walking distance of the old mill. Perfect for families close to all the fun. It's got a pool, a lazy river, and premium campsites with patios, gazebos, and fire pits. Truly, Southern hospitality at its best. I still have my trusty Mercedes Class B, but I wanted a bit more space for a friend I'm meeting here later. Since I don't tow, I had this 2022 primetime trailer delivered right to the campsite. It was hooked up, leveled, and fully set up before I even arrived. At 28 feet long, it features a slide out for extra room, an outdoor kitchen, and an electric awning to make the most of the outdoors. Inside, the trailer is packed with comforts, a dining booth that converts into a bed, a well-equipped kitchenette with an oven, sink, plenty of storage, and a full-size fridge. The bathroom includes a spacious walk-in shower, and the private master bedroom boasts a comfortable queen-size bed. For extra sleeping space, there are 2 full-size bunks in addition to the dining table bed. Now for our first stop. We're heading to a hidden gem for fly fishing, and it's right behind a year-round Christmas store. Here on the Little Pigeon River, you'll find Jason Biomonte, a local fly fishing guide with deep roots in Pigeon Forge. Jason's been fishing these waters since he was a kid, starting out by the Old Mill Bridge and reeling in memories like the 11-pound trout he caught at 16. Now he runs youth trout tournaments and helps others discover the joy of these waters. From the quiet streams in town to the more challenging spots in the national park, Jason knows every hidden gem.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Ready to fish?
I'm ready to try fly fishing.
This time of year, this is a great hole because it's one of the few deep holes that we can, that we've got.
So what's the likelihood of catching anything today?
The likelihood of catching anything today, it's tough even for good fly fishermen today. So the likelihood, the odds are against us, especially
really
if you've
against
never
me.
Fly fishing before.
Jason says the water's a bit warmer and slower than usual, making conditions tougher for fly fishing. The best time of year to fish Pigeon Forge is in the spring, and a fishing license is required, so make sure to read up on local fishing regulations before you come. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency is a great online resource for all things hunting and fishing in the area.
So what we're going to do is we're going to work on our motion. And it's the same. This is the same motion backward as it is forward. Okay. So you want your motion to be like a pendulum, 10 to 2.
Okay.
Go forward, go back. Same. And then when you get ready to lay it down, you're just going to follow it down.
Okay.
Just like that.
So a little bit of slack here?
Yep.
Okay.
Now pop, give it a little bit of pop back. There you go. Now pop 10, 2. There you go, look.
Okay.
Dropped it out there perfect. There you go, look at that. How good did that feel?
That's fun, I like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now if I could catch something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we can move spots if you want to, it's up to you.
Do you like to fish alone or with other people?
I mean, there's things about both I like, but if I can go with my boys or my best friends or even my wife sometimes, I enjoy the companionship on the water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gives you time to fellowship, take pictures of each other, make fun of each other.
How old were you when you started?
I mean, some of the earliest memories that I can conjure up in my head were fishing with my dad.
Oh.
So we did a lot of bonding on the river, and then likewise with my 2 boys. We did a lot of bonding on the river. I told them earlier, I said, to me, fishing's not about catching fish. Fishing's about making memories.
Yeah.
And so that's how I look at it. One day my boys, we had like 3 hours before their little league ball game, and I said, y'all want to do anything? Let's go down to the river. So we ran down to the river on Collier Drive. Ooh, I see a fish. Oh.
And I just messed up.
You see him?
Uh-huh.
Look in the
Right
shadow.
there. Yeah, dang it.
He's interested, or he wouldn't have come up there.
Okay, hope I didn't scare it off.
All right, time to let the pro get to work. I will say, I've had such a great time learning some new skills out here on the water today. And leave it to Jason to make sure we've got something to show for it.
You want to just barely have a finger out here to show more of the fish. You're good right there. Just barely, barely get your fingers. Yeah.
Aww.
There you go, right down there. Now face it. And then the further away you hold it,
Yeah?
the bigger it looks.
There you go.
Well, we've got our fish and a picture to prove it. There's something about this river that just makes you want to stay a while. Next up, we're heading to a barbecue spot with a menu item you won't find just anywhere. Welcome to Bennets BBQ, locally owned and operated by the same family for over 30 years right here in Pigeon Forge. This place is all about slow-cooked, smoky goodness, and as soon as you step inside, you're greeted by the warm, rustic charm of their dining room. But the real magic happens in the kitchen, where their meats are smoked low and slow to perfection. From ribs to pulled pork, everything here is packed with flavor and cooked the old-fashioned way. And it's all thanks to folks like Dan Powers, who's been part of this barbecue tradition from the very beginning.
I've been here 33 years. I was the original cook here.
33 years? That's a whole lot of barbecue expertise.
What's kept you here?
It is such a family environment. The owners are just great people. They care about their health. And I saw that, and after, 38, 39 years working for other folks, you don't see that very often.
I keep hearing something about a fried deviled egg.
Yeah,
What is that? And
most people think it sounds crazy, and it is crazy, I guess. But it's one of our top-selling appetizers because it is unique and is very good. Let's face it, everybody in the South likes deviled eggs.
Who came up with these deep fried deviled eggs?
Started with a chicken.
Yeah, chicken and the egg.
See, this is why we do this, right?
The biggest thing is you got to care. You got to make sure you do it right. Okay, you're going to take a half of a hard-boiled egg, the white only.
Okay.
And you're going to dip it in the batter. Now, what you want to do is you want to use this hand, the left hand, to dip the egg.
Okay. Coated.
You're going to coat that.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to make sure you get it coated well.
Okay.
Okay. Drain it off a little, and then you're going to put it in the dry mix.
Okay.
Now, don't put your hand in there. Okay. You keep this for the dry mix.
Got it.
Okay. Now, take and toss your egg. Okay. Take off your excess.
How am I doing?
Well, at this rate, we're going to have to pay you by the piece, not by the hour, okay?
I'm just starting.
That's right.
So I'm getting the hang of it. So I need to pick up the
Each
pace.
one's looking better.
Okay.
No, you're doing fine.
Okay.
You can't hurry perfection.
That's right. That's
This is
right.
probably the best batch we've ever tried.
It's going to be the best batch ever.
I'm going to take these to the deep fryer, and I'll be right back.
Okay. And you say you judge the color. That's how you know when they're ready. Not
By
the way
the golden brown
Okay.
color. Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is your deviled egg mix. And what you're going to do, you put it in the center, and you're going to put a pretty nice little dollop, something about to the nature of that.
Okay. Not enough or
You're doing great.
perfect. You gonna hire me?
You're looking after my food cost there. All right.
Okay.
Great job.
Okay.
Okay, now what you're going to do, you're going to take a small piece of kale, put it on the end of the plate, just kind of for a little dressing.
Okay. A little decorative.
Right. And then we serve it with a cup of our homemade chow chow. A little bit of that on each of those eggs makes them wonderful.
Dan's right, the homemade chow chow sounds like the perfect topping. Let's take these to the table and dig in.
Well, I think we need to try the deep fried deviled eggs
Okay.
first.
Okay. Use your hands. Not the best
You
technique.
always use your hands to eat barbecue.
You love the barbecue, but this seems like a family.
It
Doesn't
is-
seem like work.
It is definitely a family. I've been here long enough to see their children born. I'm now seeing grandchildren born, So I know most of their names. I'm getting older, it's hard to remember all of them. But anyway, it's nice, that you can have that relationship and still run a business. And that was what it was all about. It wasn't just good food, it was a good place to eat. People, we care about them. We want them to come in, and we do everything we can to get them to come back. And the more they come back, the happier we are. So.
That's the heart of Bennett's, founded by Bruce Johnson and now run by his daughter Kelly with that same warm welcome. The menu's brimming with authentic Southern favorites, all crafted with care. It's the kind of place you leave happy, satisfied, and ready to come back for more. For my next stop, I'm heading back to Great Smoky Mountains National Park to work off that chow chow on 2 wheels. Today is one of the Cades Cove vehicle-free days. From early May through late September, Cades Cove's one-way 11-mile loop is set aside for bikers and walkers. Not a car in sight. The scenery, wildlife, and history make each mile feel special. And if the full loop seems like too much, you can shorten it with one of the connecting paths. Don't have your own bike with you? No problem. You can rent one right at the camp store. Cades Cove has a long history, stretching back to the Cherokee who hunted here and the settlers who arrived in the early 1800s. Back then, it was a bustling community with farms, churches, and schools. Today, it's a place to soak in the beauty of the Smokies and imagine what life was like over a century ago. Cades Cove is also a great place for animal lovers. The area is home to turkey, white-tailed deer, and if you're lucky, you might catch sight of some black bears eating from the remnants of the apple orchards planted by the settlers. Here, we hop off the bike to take a short walk through the woods. Just ahead is the John Oliver Cabin, the oldest preserved structure in Cades Cove. Built in the 1820s, the John Oliver Cabin housed Cades Cove's first European settlers who survived their first winter only through Cherokee generosity. It stands amid a complex legacy. Walking through the cabin, you can't help but feel connected to the past. The rough-hewn logs, the handmade shending. This was home for generations of Olivers who lived on the homestead after the park was established 100 years later. Now you know why this is my favorite way to experience Cades Cove. No cars, just fresh air, history, and the Smokies all to myself. And trust me, there's always room for a little ice cream from the camp store before I head out. I'll definitely be back for another ride. But now it's time to head back to KOA and meet our guest, a folk musician with local roots. With the sun setting at KOA, it's time to gather around the fire. Tonight, local musician Mike Wynn shares Smoky Mountain folk tunes inspired by old Irish ballads, focusing on heartfelt strumming and vocals that stay true to these mountains' roots. Let's settle in, savor the moment, and travel back in time.
Oh, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
I know.
So, Mike, we're in the Smoky Mountains, and music has always been such a part of the communities, the people.
Yes.
Called mountain music, folk music.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the history of the music that you love.
Well, one of the things I think that's so important to remember is that when the people came here, they brought their customs, obviously, their ways of life, but so much a part of that was the music. They brought the stories that from the Scots-Irish, all the ballads that had all those floating verses, and they could just start playing a tune and just infiltrate those with different verses. But most of the music that the people came here with was music about nobles and the royalty. But when they got here, it was an outpouring not of just singing songs about things they didn't really have a connection with, but they actually sang about ma and pa and grandma and grandpa and about, love and loss and things like that. And I think music became very, very therapeutic for people.
And it was a way of storytelling.
It was. My grandpa used to come home, and after a long day, the harder his day, the longer he'd sit and play the guitar. And just, I just wondered about that sometimes. He just seemed to be far, far away, but he was just working out some of those emotions and feelings and thoughts. And every day he would be sitting on the front porch in his bib overalls just waiting for me to get off the bus. He was already playing something when I walked up, and he had a really interesting voice, and he was singing, but he would always have a second guitar sitting over by him, and I would just go pick it up, and I would watch his hands and listen to him. And every time we always started with the same song. It's almost like we at least started the first couple of songs in the right order. And it was the Old Country Church, because it was important to him, his family, and they'd always been in church and sang in church. And so we'd start with that one, and we'd just play for an hour and a half every day or so. And just, I learned my love of music just kind of watching him.
Uh-huh. Well, let's hear it. And what's it called again?
It's called the Old Country Church.
Hey, great.
Yeah. There's a place dear to me where I'm longing to be with my friends at the Old Country Church. There with Mother we went, and our Sundays were spent with our friends at the Old Country with my friends at the old country church. You can pat your foot if you want to. As a small country boy, how my heart beat with joy when I knelt in the old country church. There the Savior above, by his wonderful love, saved my soul in the old country church.
What a day it's been here in Pigeon Forge. We started out on the water, learning the art of fly fishing in a quiet little spot that felt like our own secret. Then we tucked into some of the best barbecue you can find at Bennets, deep-fried deviled eggs and all. From there, we took a bike ride through Cades Cove, where the beauty of the Smokies and a little history made it something truly special. And to top it all off, we ended the day around a campfire with Mike Wynn, listening to the kind of music that feels like home. From start to finish, this trip has been full of warmth, charm, and memories I won't soon forget. Thanks for joining me, and until next time.
Years of memory, oh, what joy they bring to me. How I long once more to be with my friends at the old country church. Thank you. Thank you.